From hunting clickers on The Last of Us to basically looking like a bunch of besties on set, Pedro Pascal and Bella Ramsey have that chemistry. And to top it off, Bella Ramsey just said the cutest thing about the internet's favorite poppy, because after more than a year of filming the show, the two grew quite close while playing Joel and Ellie. Ramsey recently acknowledged how much she misses Pascal. On The Jonathan Ross Show, the actor discussed how their relationship is very much real. Imagine if it wasn't, though. That would be actual acting. Anyway, Ramsey talked about their relationship, saying she adores our beloved Mando. And if you haven't watched the pair's endless press interviews together, then let's just say you are definitely missing out. Because it's very clear that The Last of Us has helped them develop a close connection. And we are all grateful for it because it's one wholesome experience watching them talk. Of course, Pedro shares the same feelings as her, as he has been seen calling her by the name Belly, which is basically Ellie, but the B stands for blessing. It really was a match made in heaven, no? Their friendship was made much more clear at the conclusion of The Last of Us production when Pascal sent Ramsey a heartfelt note commemorating their time together. I think I could also use a note from Pedro, just saying. Anyway, the note said that he had the best time of his life working with her, plus some more anecdotes which had Bella smiling from ear to ear. Other than that, Ramsey also talked about how Pascal supported her and how they frequently discussed gender and sexuality on set. And even if their discussions weren't always deep, the actress valued Pascal's support because his sister Lux is transgender. I don't know about you guys, but I gotta say, this bond is something else, and maybe it's also the reason the show did so well. And really, if you haven't been keeping up with all the shots from this show's production, you've been missing out on a goldmine of amazingly hilarious and wholesome moments between the two. They seriously look like they may be related in real life because of how well they seem to get along. Even in the picture that Pedro shared to celebrate the show's finale, both can be seen posing together on a hill. Another shot in the series shows the two of them giggling uncontrollably, while making a joke that sadly viewers haven't had the good fortune to figure out. But if it's anything like the show's puns that Ellie has been making, I'm assuming it's in the so bad it's good category. Fans were ecstatic to witness the two have such a heartfelt time together, especially after that heartfelt conclusion that stunned and upset almost everyone. But in a way, it completely illustrates Joel's love for Ellie. Although, I gotta admit, Pascal looks to be a far more fun dad than Joel ever could be. They genuinely look like a father and daughter that are having the time of their lives, which is why they were the perfect cast for a show like this. The actors who play Joel and Ellie's relationship must have a real-life bond, since it is so essential to the success of the entire series. It's clear that Pedro and Bella play comparable roles to the characters they were cast as. And that's probably why the entire first season of their actions seemed so flawless. But even that isn't the finest part. Their bond will undoubtedly shine in the second season, which is another advantage. If you believed that The Last of Us's first season crushed your heart, wait until the end of season 2. It will be a whole trip through suffering. Trust me, I have played the games, and let's just say there were a lot of tissues involved. Moving on, the popularity of Joel and Ellie among the audience is a major factor in this, not to mention their affection for one another. The two will eventually be split off at some point in the narrative, and boy will that strike fans like a frickin' bus. But I also believe that the stars will find it very challenging as well. They had been together for such a long time and had such a terrific connection after all. It will ache a little to have to spend the time apart on screen. Spoiler alert! That too while hating each other, but I believe Bella will be able to use all of that suffering to enhance her performance in the second season. It'd be a great way to change up her performance as Ellie and make it more in line with what the second game of the series offers. For those who don't know, Ellie is a downright violent monster in the second game, and a big reason why she acts the way she does is because of her love for Joel. So obviously, if Bella feels the same kind of attachment to Pedro, she's going to be able to act her heart out. And I honestly can't wait to see it unfold. Though that's not the only time fans have seen the two acting like two peas in a pod off camera. The co-stars discussed what it was like to meet each other for the first time and film in an interview with Rotten Tomatoes TV. In such a short time, everyone was able to build lasting bonds with each other, and it was their strong friendship that became an important component of the massive production. They first met, according to Bella, while she was getting her hair trimmed. When Pedro entered the scene, the conversation was over in a flash. The two actually didn't have the time to get to know one another right away, but they perceived that there was a strong spark between them. And even from that moment, they felt like there was just a connection there that can't be put into words. It's almost like some kind of an invisible aura that made it known, that made the two know they were in for an amazing journey together. Not just as Joel and Ellie, but also as two people and actors. And boy, what an amazing journey that turned out to be. Interestingly, the way they met each other in real life is honestly kind of similar to the arc that Joel and Ellie share in the story. In fact, Bella seems to be so close to my dad. Her dad, her on-screen dad. You get it. That was completely not weird whatsoever, so like I was saying, she's so close to Pedro that she even avoided watching Pascal's brutal death in Game of Thrones because of it. The actress claimed that the scene was simply too much for her to bear because she was unhealthily attached to Pascal. The two actors appeared in Game of Thrones, and regrettably, given that they perished, their personalities weren't exactly the luckiest of the lot. But hey, at least they were able to reconnect in The Last of Us. Bella has always described her and Joel's friendship fondly and commented that, in her mind, she views him as more than simply a buddy, considering how close the two are. I'm not too shocked that they've created that type of position because Pedro Pascal is essentially the go-to dad in television right now. Pedro simply seems like he'd be an incredible, fun kind of father. Ironically, he doesn't have any of his own children, which makes this even more absurd. But hey, he has Grogu and Ellie, so that's something, right? Of all, celebrities aren't the only ones who enjoy their tight bond, since all of the fans support it. In fact, viewers have adored all the insider information the two have revealed during the first season, and many of them aren't ready to say goodbye to the amazing pair just yet. Who knows just when season 2 will come out? Can the world really survive that long without some wholesome Ellie and Joel content coming our way? Seems like we're heading into an apocalypse of our own. Though, considering how close they are, I'm guessing they'll definitely be keeping in touch to give fans some more hilarious and wholesome content to look forward to until season 2 arrives. Having said that, this was all for Bella and her working with Pedro Pascal.